What if history left out the best parts? Empires as powerful as Rome and Egypt, but buried by time, war, and colonial silence. Today, we uncover the lost legacies of forgotten empires, masters of trade, science, and culture. Their names may be unfamiliar, but their impact was unforgettable. While history celebrates familiar giants, many incredible civilizations remain in the shadows. These lost empires ruled vast territories, built stunning cities, shaped religions, and pushed the boundaries of science. Yet textbooks barely mention them. Why? Because history isn't always written by the winners. Sometimes it's just written by those who had the loudest voice. Let's change that. The Ghana Empire reigned from the 4th to 13th century in West Africa, long before the modern nation. It sat at the crossroads of the trans-Saharan trade routes, becoming rich by taxing gold and salt merchants. Arab travelers like al-Bakri described Ghana's capital, Kumbisela, as a bustling city with stone buildings, marketplaces, and a king surrounded by wealth. Ghana's decline came from shifting trade and attacks from the Almoravids, paving the way for Mali to rise. From the 3rd to 14th century, the Srivijaya Empire ruled Southeast Asia's seas. Headquartered in Palembang, modern Indonesia, Srivijaya commanded the Strait of Malacca, one of the busiest trade routes in history. It collected tolls, facilitated diplomacy, and flourished as a Buddhist spiritual center. Chinese monk Yijing studied there and praised its advanced Buddhist education. Their maritime dominance ended with Chola invasions from South India in the 11th century, which devastated ports and weakened control. But Srivijaya's cultural influence echoed into the rise of later empires like Majapahit. The Mali Empire rose in the 13th century after Ghana's fall and reached legendary heights under Mansa Musa. His 1324 pilgrimage to Mecca was so lavish that it caused inflation in Cairo and Medina. He reportedly brought 60,000 men and 18 tons of gold. But Mali wasn't just rich, it was wise. Timbuktu became a center of Islamic learning, home to the Sankore University and libraries with over 700,000 manuscripts on astronomy, medicine, and law. After Mansa Musa's death, internal conflict and invasion weakened the empire, and by the 17th century, it fractured. The Khwarezmian Empire. In 11th, 13th century Central Asia was a scientific and economic powerhouse. Its greatest legacy? Al-Khwarizmi, whose name gave us the word algorithm. He wrote foundational texts on algebra, trigonometry, astronomy, and geography. Khwarezm connected Persia to the Silk Road, with cities like Gurganj and Samarkand flourishing with trade and ideas. But in 1218, the Shah made a fatal mistake. He executed a Mongol envoy. Genghis Khan retaliated with brutal force, annihilating cities and wiping out centuries of progress. A luminous empire vanished almost overnight. South of Egypt, the kingdom of Kush thrived from the 8th century BCE to 4th century CE. At its height, Kushite kings conquered Egypt, founding the 25th dynasty, ruling as Black Pharaohs. They restored temples, built cities, and revived Egyptian traditions while preserving their own Nubian identity. Kush built over 220 pyramids, many in Meroe, using unique steep designs. They excelled in ironwork, military strategy, and art, developing their own script called Meroitic, still undeciphered today. As Rome expanded and trade declined, Kush eventually weakened, but its cultural brilliance remains. So why are these empires forgotten? Colonial historians minimized non-European civilizations. They ignored oral histories, destroyed manuscripts, and focused only on stories that fit their narrative. Empires like Kush, Srivijaya, and Khwarezm didn't vanish. They were deliberately erased from the global story. But now, archaeology, indigenous scholarship, and digital preservation are bringing them back into view. These forgotten empires prove that Africa, Asia, and beyond shaped global history, not just Europe. They pioneered trade, science, architecture, education, and diplomacy, often before the West. Remember, history isn't just what's remembered, it's what's waiting to be uncovered. Which of these forgotten empires amazed you most? Was it Ghana's gold, Kush's pyramids, or Srivijaya's sea power? Let me know in the comments. And if you're hungry for more lost civilizations, check out my next video. The lost city of Shambhala, a Himalayan legend that just might be real. Subscribe for more hidden history, because the past isn't gone, it's just buried.